All right, so I think we are recording. Okay, so today I'm going to walk you through on how do you use your emotions to create a better life. Okay, because since young or many times this topic of emotion is not something that we were being taught, right? So or maybe we were taught about it, but when we were young, we were taught to you know suppress your emotions, don't listen to your emotions and stuff. And I remember some of you in the group mentioned about how do you actually manage and regulate your emotions. Okay, so this is what this training is about, and I'm going to walk you through it. Okay, so let's begin with understanding emotions. Emotions is actually a powerful force that resides within us. Okay, they shape our thoughts, actions, and even influence our decision making process. So if you think about from when you're at joy or when you're sad, from anger or when you are in love, at different emotion state, right? It's likely that you will take different actions and decisions. So another thing to also take note is that understand that your emotion is also something that is temporal, which means it's floating, right? So think of it like a spiral that is going up and down, which is what you can see in this this picture here. Okay, so if you look at this picture, I call it the emotion guidance scale, whereby you can see that there's a variety of a range of emotions there. We have one that is the more positive would be somewhere on top here, and the one that is more negative would be at the bottom. So just keep in mind that our emotions can float. Okay, it can go up and go down. But the problem is, unfortunately, right, many people make poor decisions because they make decisions from the bottom of the spiral. Okay, so there's a very important thing to note is that you know don't make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. Okay, because it's usually not the right decision to make. But the good news is you can always spiral up. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you use spiral up first, then only you make your decisions. Okay? So how do we use this chart, right? I'm just going to share with you on how I use this. All right. Let me just scroll down. Okay. So I call this a daily vibe check. Okay. Or it's called it's also used it's a kind of emotional regulation, right? It helps you to be aware of why you're feeling great, not so great, and also to helps you to regulate and manage your emotions to serve you better. So how does it work, right? So I want you to think about, imagine that you had an event that happened, right? So it can be maybe you had a conflict with your parents, with your spouse, or maybe your friend said something that is nasty to you, or maybe your boss just gave you a feedback that is not so nice. So and then obviously when you receive all when this is being thrown to you, right, you obviously don't feel good. So how can we manage and regulate our emotions when this happen? All right, so when the event happened, okay, the first thing you want to do is you ask yourself, okay, right now, what am I feeling? Okay. So what you can do is you come to this scale, and let's say your boss says something bad about, give you a negative feedback about your work, or your boss just, maybe your boss didn't have a good day, right? So also so he just screams at you at work, saying that you're not good enough and stuff. Okay. So or your work is a piece of crap, that kind of thing. So if you ask yourself, okay, so right now, what am I feeling? Okay, so you can look through this And let's take, for example, maybe when I heard that, I'm feeling a bit, you know, discouraged. So I'm at number 16 here. Okay, so that is what I'm feeling. Anger, maybe not. Revenge, not so. So it's more or less around discouragement, maybe around disappointment. So you're around this range now, right? So let's just take let's just use number 16, which is discouragement. Okay. Then the next thing is you ask yourself, right? Like, what am I feeling in my body? You know, you close your eyes and just feel your body. Like, are you feeling any kind of tightness, any discomfort, or any lightness in your body? So what you want to do is actually you just want to be present with yourself. You want to attend to yourself. Okay. And the third step is grounding, deep breathing, and allowing. So this step is very, very important. Okay. When you're talking about grounding is you basically want to bring, you when something bad happens, you maybe you will be overthinking about the future, about the past. So what's important is you want to bring yourself back to the present. So we talk about grounding, right? Which is to feel the things that are in front of you, to hear the things that is around you. Okay. And then after that, you can proceed to your deep breathing. Just take a few deep breath, the one that we have learned in our class. And most importantly is you want to allow yourself to feel that way, right? Like right now, if you're feeling discouraged, or maybe you're feeling anxious, it's nothing wrong to feel sad, discouraged, or anxious, right? It's a normal human emotion, right? It's just like if you're happy, you just laugh, right? You never stop yourself, like you never tell yourself that, oh, I shouldn't laugh and stuff. You just allow it, just let your emotions to happen. You just let it out, right? So it same goes for negative emotions as well. If you need to be angry, just be angry lah. If you feel sad, it's okay to be sad. Okay, we are a normal human being. Okay, and then when you're feeling better already, after you allow the emotions, what we can do next is we can try to change our perception. Okay, so we can ask the question. Okay, so what this is trying to teach or tell me. Okay, we can do a bit of reframing and a change of perception. So for example, back to the example earlier. So let's say if your boss maybe screams of you and gave you a not very good feedback, right? Maybe you can start to do things like practicing a bit of a gratitude, like saying that I'm still alive, I still have a job, I haven't lost my job yet. I still I was still able to drive to work this morning. I still have food to eat. And you also can try to reframe the feedback that was given to you, instead of seeing it as something that is negative. So we can reframe it in a way to say that, feedbacks are gold. And right after that, maybe you also can do things like, you seek for help, right? Maybe you did not do well in your in the work. You can always seek for help, like what we are always saying in class, everything can learn, right? If you're not good in this in a particular task, you can always learn. You can always do it. You can always try again, right? So when you reframe and change your perception, right? What's going to happen is it's going to change your emotion state. Okay, that's the reason why we do it, because we want to change our emotion state, which leads to step number 5, right? You want to bring yourself up to a better emotion state. Okay, so after doing this kind of reframing, you practice your gratitude, you reframe what feedbacks are. Maybe you go and speak to a friend of yours, and then you want to gauge, after you do that, you want to gauge your emotions after you do your reframing or your perception change, right? So if you go back right now to the chart, maybe after you do all those, you know, maybe at first you were at number 16, right? But after you reframe and change your perception, right now you may be at number 6. You know, you feel a bit of a hope. You have hope, like, you know, you can try again. It's not that bad after all. Okay, you don't have to you don't have to, just because you get a bad feedback, right? You don't have to go and flip the tab table or quit your job. You can try again, right? So you see how this simple exercise that, you know, when we can help, we can do to change your emotion state from discouragement, which is number 16 at the bottom of the spiral, to number 6, which is, it's not really at the top, but it's at least you're at a better place now. Okay, right? You may not be at the top one, and you don't have to, but going from 6 to 16, going for 16 to 6 has already put you in a better state of mind. All right, you feel and you live better at 6 compared to 16. So initially when the event happened, okay, you were at 16, you know, you're a bit down. It's not in a very good state, but after you do a bit of a work of a emotion exercise, you have moved yourself up to here, which is not too bad, right? And this is why emotion regulation is so important, because as humans, you know, we tend to be dramatic with our emotions. Like, we blow it out of proportions on our head, and we just amplify it over time. So sometimes even you know, did I have a, like, give you some examples here, right? Did I have a shitty day, or did I have a shitty 5 minutes that I have in the morning, that I allow it to turn into a shitty day? Okay, maybe I was discouraged in the morning, but did I allow myself to be discouraged for the whole day? Okay, or sometimes, you know, when we, you know, when things are not going our way, we all tend to use the word, "Oh, I'm freaking out, you know, this is so bad." But is it really so? Or it can be just like, you know, I'm feeling a little anxious, you know, it's not that bad, but it's just a little anxious. Okay, and also watch the language that and how you speak to yourself, right? So for example, when you did not receive a good feedback of your work, you will say, like, you know, I suck at this, compared to, okay, that's, thanks for the feedback, I'm learning and I'm getting better each day. Okay, notice how, you see, right? Notice how when you change your perception and your language, how you speak to yourself, right? You can change your emotional state and your thoughts, right? So why not do it in a way that serve you, right? And if you notice that you are always in a continuous state of a of a negative emotion, okay, just get curious about it. Okay, like, ask yourself, where is this coming from? What is triggering it? Maybe could be an inner child wound. It could be a limiting belief, or maybe you need more perspective, right? So yeah, so there's something we can be curious about. Okay, and then we try to work on those areas again, and see if we can help to bring our emotional state up. Okay, so the last part here is, like, you know, just to close this short training, just to wrap up this short training. Emotions have the power to shape your life for the good and bad. Okay, for the good and worse. And the key here is, you want to be aware, you want to be able to manage and regulate it, and use it in a way that will serve you better, and that helps you in a way that become a better version of yourself. Right? Okay, so I think that's all I have for today. I hope you find this helpful. And if you have any questions, continue to drop them in the group chat.